Yo, we're back. How you doing? Feeling a little warped and weary myself. Ha ha ha! End credits. We're finally here. Performing for me. It's not like I want to kick some tail. HP. Hocus Pocus. HP. Hocus Pocus is here. He's finally here, and about time too. There's no crumblings at all, so you don't have to beware of shit. Oh, yes. It is more of this delightfully entrancing game. Enchanting game, rather, yes. Yes, that's how the whole theme feels. This is kind of like, I don't know, this feels like a game when I would have gotten it. It feels like it comes straight from, like, the bookstore. Honestly. And that's cool. Did you know they sell manga? Or, not sell, you know they have manga at libraries now? In America? I didn't know. Because my my local library is a piece of crap. I have to go to like a different one, somewhere in a different county. Oh well. Can't win them all. What's with these buff Minotaur people? Like in the thing. I don't know. Also, what the hell is the tone of this level? Like, I feel like we've experienced some of these guys before, but they're all mixed up. And, like, it's all colorful and shit, I don't know. I've given up a long time ago. What do you make of this? Well, we have elevators now. And you're going to see those elevators for the rest of the game. That one can't move without something below it removed, I guess. That is the way of my people. Let's let them go. Yeah. Yeah, this makes you want to play Arkanoid. Unfortunately, I can't see myself doing Arkanoid LP, so sorry. I was wondering about, like, older casual games made in the 90s and 2000s that weren't made for phones that still hold up, like Peggle. Like, what if I did, like, a Peggle project? Would that be something you're into? Or yeah, Plants vs. Zombies, that falls under that category, doesn't it? I suppose I could go do that if I really wanted to. But that's not up to me. It is, honestly, within my purview, though, to do, like, old PopCap style stuff. Or stuff you'd find on, like, a Windows 95 disc. Like, 100 games, and it's like, oh, look at this! It's a card solitary quest thing. Or a match 3 journey. Or something like that. But it still has, like, level design. It's just very easy to get into. And yeah, as long as it's not just like how Bejeweled 1 was, which is just literally the bare bones, what I'd call flash game level of entertainment, which I guess was a lot like how arcades used to be, just less so, and with less quarters being thrown at your computer screen. Yes. Yes. I believe there's a website that stores all past flash games, or is trying to, with the help of people who are digging around. And I think there might be an example of some stuff I'd actually like to use. I just don't know what those examples are. Because the only big ones I was thinking of are stuff that Lego.com used to have. It turns out both of those that I liked are puzzle games, so yeah. Yeah, it's usually how I spend my break time at like high school is just like, alright, time for some more Flash games. Wasn't a big yeah. It's like before my time, recess was not about video games, but during my time, when I started kids, it's like, recess is video games. I'm like, sweet. Like, could you imagine growing up like that? Now it's just recesses, oh, everyone's already on their phone. Where's the fun now? People don't know where to look for the fun, or maybe they do. Like, I don't know anything about the generation that's coming after me, or the generation even after that one. I feel like it's too early for... It might be too early for what comes after Generation Z. And anyway, I don't think of people like that anyway. Just maybe how they're growing up now. Like, the distinction is there in terms of time period, but also, people are different. And maybe you can categorize them if they're all the same age, but not, like, within a span of 5 to 10 years. A lot of different things could happen, especially when they're from different parts of the world. Obviously from different parts of the world, of course. Yeah, we got these skull things to shoot too. Yeah, we're using a lot of previous elements, with the exception of, well, that. And plus, I like this music, so, I mean, we get to have this music again. This is pretty good. This is the quintessential I like Hocus Pocus music. Dum 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 dum. Dum dum dum. Yeah, it's good. Like, deep, dark castle music. That's what I like in my ad-lib / sound blaster music. This is exactly the kind of music I listen to. I'm like, yeah, this is DOS FN synthesis. Not really MIDI generated. I mean, yes, it's a MIDI, but it's not a wavetable synth. I prefer FM synthesis, and I have for a long time. There's a very simple thing about FM synthesis that a lot of wavetables and sound fonts just don't understand. And even, like, MIDI devices, like from Roland, which they still sell, by the way, and they're still expensive as hell. Like, they never got cheap. They're just always expensive. It's super annoying. Really thought about just getting a legit experience, but then it's just like, how would I record that? Right? This is like physical audio device. I'm sure someone has done this. Instead, we try to recreate it with a sound font replicating the device, and it's not quite there. So, yeah, you get recordings of it. You just have someone just getting a literal just mic hooked up to it. It's like, this is what it sounds like. But no, what I find great about FM synthesis for any game I've played is that, you know, these single DOS games always have their own sound font pre-prepared, and I think someone made a command line app where I could recreate those things from different games. Like, there's basically an FM sound font to recreate Doom, for instance, and such. I wish I remembered what that was. I might have it saved somewhere in my bookmarks, but it's a good testing thing. Or it's really good for just recording DOS-like music, actually. If you can't just make a DOS game, but you want it to sound like one. You know what I mean? So the tools are there, clearly. The tools are there to beware for a scare. User beware. I'm wearing underwear. User has logged out. User has been knocked out by me for punching them mentally. What is this background? No, really, we got some Mario-ass hills. You know what I mean? There's never real Mario hills. Mario hills, like, never mind lack eyeballs. Like, is there such a thing as a hill that's just like, oh yeah, it's just like cylindrical, spherical on the top? Oh yeah, that's what hills look like. No, I've never seen any kind of landscape that looks like that. Ever. Kirby has some of that shit too, except it's more rectangular as opposed to spherical. Like a rectangular ellipsis hill. And that doesn't make any sense either. So I don't know where we're pulling those ideas from. Unless we had eyes, though. It's just like, oh, there's your excuse. It's sentient. That's a thing that's in old cartoons, old games. Like, oh no, everything has eyeballs. It's all alive, man. Look out. Everything's got eyes. Think of the implications where every piece of scenery has its own personality. It's very terrifying to think about. That's why we don't make 30s-like cartoons anymore. No, I don't know why we don't do that anymore. Clearly we can, because we have stuff like Cuphead. What about 90s-like cartoons, huh? Where's all that Viacom craziness that we used to enjoy? Also, I don't know about anything regarding what children watch on the TV these days, if they even watch stuff on the TV. Because clearly it's still doing a thing, so I guess maybe through streaming services? I mean, there is that. But it might be their parents deciding what they watch, because I don't know if children should be deciding what to watch unless you actually put them in kids mode, you know? So, yeah. Thought it was funny to diss on all those parental controls. You should have kept them. We used to have parental controls and you knocked them silly. Now instead you want to put parental controls on everyone who's a child. What was that quote from Mark Twain? Censorship is like banning a steak for an adult because a child can't chew it. It doesn't make sense across the board. You know? That's what these age restrictions are supposed to be for. But then you're like, why do you have Yeah, again. I feel like I've been in this argument multiple times in the circular form, but it's just like, you want it to be advertising friendly, which is not to do things that are relatable to adults, except all the things that are not relatable adults would invariably make them related to children, which means you wouldn't be able to make ads on it, but you're trying to do it on like the 13 to 18 population. I don't know what the logic is. I don't even know if it's a whole YouTube thing, or I think it might be an advertiser thing. I don't really know. I really don't know. Anyway, we're getting all lavaed out. This cat wants to mess with my wires. Well, I'm going to tell it off. It doesn't really get the hint very easily. It just wants to walk through wires. It's like, you're going to trip all of them, and I'm going to be upset. It's like, you're going to yank out my microphone, you're going to yank out my headset, you yank out my controller. Well, I'm not using it right now. You're going to yank out my keyboard. Stop yanking stuff, you know? Oh, but I'm being cute. No. Press all the switches. Yeah. Yes, you watch YouTube in order to watch me complain about YouTube. No. I mean, I do it every once in a while. It's not going to be every video. I just decided to make it this one just because of, I was on the topic of parental controls. And now I'm forgetting what... Yeah, it's because I wonder what... Yeah, I wonder what the new generations are doing. That's what that was about. Okay. I should just stuck with that. Down, down, down. I think what's annoying is, like, you know, if you're a child, I don't think you should be, like, don't interact with social media. Like, there's too many people on the internet. You're too young to be able to interact with everyone. I don't think that's how that should work. Now, it's okay if you have your own little, like, I think a good idea would just have, like, children socialize with each other around their own age group. If we could do a social media version of that, which I don't know if we've ever done successfully, but if we could do something like that, that would be infinitely helpful, I'm sure. It's not even just a case of age or time. It's a case of the mind is not developed all the way yet. And really it doesn't until it doesn't finish until somewhere in the late 20s even. But we can reasonably expect them to make informed decisions after a certain point based on a number of factors. And maybe some of those factors are some of you watching this right now. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I changed the scope of my channel, was because if I wasn't speaking, YouTube deemed this, you know, kids only. I'm like, I mean, I guess that's true since the game, or a game like this could be for everyone. And I'm like, okay. So I fixed that by speaking over it. And hopefully that's okay. Hard to tell, you know? There's like some weird in-between where it's like, be an adult, but also don't act completely like an adult. I don't know. I could go on that. Actually, the only problem I've ever really had with YouTube was when I just made a mistake and I just asked them if they could undo it. It was nothing to it was something to get upset about, but it was nothing to blame them for. Besides, that's way under the bridge by this point. And it's also why I have to keep my Twitter up, because that's my best way of contacting YouTube. That could possibly change. I'm expecting it to. Time to warp all the things that we warp, and we want to warp them as we go up or down. And the world goes down. This world's got more green pigs in it. Great. Those are the enemies I least enjoy. Hooray. The only enemy to figure out that it should be doing a sideways attack and floats in midair. Clearly the most dangerous thing mankind has invented. Well, not most dangerous, most annoying thing. It's like, what's worse than a flying pig? Of course. Let me know when that continues to fly. Dun, 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 dun. What are we doing? We're walking around. Oh, okay. Elevator access. Oh yeah, some levels, there could be 2 elevators in the same column. That's to prevent you from getting stuck, but it can be kind of awkward when you're going up. It's like, oh damn, there's another elevator above me, so you have to get around somehow. So that can happen. Oh, there we go. I just covered up the lava like it never existed. That's nice. Have you ever heard of Minos? In the Isle off of Greece? Or the Isle of Crete, which where I thought the word Cretan came from, but does not. Yeah. All about that stuff. You know, it's not surprising that whoever made this game ended up becoming a physiologist. Just look at that anatomy. Clearly, these are some healthy things that used to exist. Like, even in the afterlife, their corpse is just muscular. Like, they don't rot away. Only their face. So, you know, maybe they left to the afterlife, but their bodies are in completely good form. Where's the other marble? I mean, crystal. It's a marble. I consider it a marble. It says crystal. I say it's marble. It's a goddamn marble. Marble Comics, where we celebrate the marble. Stuff like the Marble Madness. Oh, yes. I'm sure it's somewhere where I haven't looked yet. At least I have all the treasures that I need. Oh, you know what? It probably has everything to do with the silver key. Okay. We're probably good then.
Yeah, I did it. I found the things. Yeah, color-tastic. Ha ha ha. Castle complete, congrats. Oh, and I beat the part-time. I'm the best. Awesome.
Alright. I mean, if I haven't convinced you to play Hocus Pocus by now, I don't know how you got this far. Actually, you don't really need to. I mean, this is as much as you're going to get. Oh, look at... Yeah, it seems like most of... Like, the first half of Episode 3 is just making me nostalgic for Episode 1, mostly. And that's fine. Get a little differentness, but similarity.